Hello everyone, happy Friday. It's Colleen Suchecki here, and I am a speaker and intuitive healer, and I help people heal from past traumas so that they can show up as their authentic self, discover their gifts, live their purpose. So today we are talking about a very, very juicy, sensitive topic, which is about when you're awakening to your authentic self, how can you overcome the fear of what will happen in your relationships, especially your romantic relationships, if you are more true to you. If you're going through these changes, what does that mean for your relationship and how this can hold you back? I know that this has personally been something that's near and dear to my heart, which is obviously why I'm talking about it. And I know that it holds many, many, many women back in the fear of what is going to happen if I'm going through all these changes. What is going to happen in my marriage? What's going to happen in my partnership? What is going to happen if I change and if I'm true to me? What does that mean for my relationship? Hi, Misty. So if you're coming on, definitely say hello. I just want to share this real quick. And if you feel inspired to share, if we have at least 15 shares of this video, because I know that this is information that people really, really need to hear, and I want to help spread it. If we have 15 or more shares of this video, one of you will definitely will receive a private 30-minute angel card reading from me. Okay, so all you have to do is hit the share button, and if we have 15 or more shares of this video, I will pick a winner from the people that have shared it to win a private 30-minute angel card reading with me. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Ibrahim. Okay, sorry, let me just share this real quick here. Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing, Misty. So just thank you. Okay, just give me 1 second. So I can share it, so I can do what I'm asking you to do, and then we're gonna dive in. All right, so this is a juicy topic. I felt the energy from the time I posted it yesterday on Facebook. I had people reaching out to me, people commenting, people private messaging me about how important this topic really is. I'm not doing angel card readings today, Kirsty. Nope. Today is all about overcoming the fear of really being able to show up as your authentic self and not letting fear hold you back in your relationships. So no angel card readings today. That I'll be back doing that next Wednesday. All right, so I want to start off by talking about, again, I want to honor how sensitive and how intense that this topic can be, and know that there may be things that I'm saying, things that come up for you as you're listening to it that may trigger you. It may bring up some emotion, and I actually think that's a really good thing, because if you've been a place where you've been kind of sweeping things under the rug, you've been avoiding, ignoring, distracting, it may really be time to take a look at this. So here's the thing, is I want to kind of go into how this shows up in your life. So when you're in a romantic relationship, or even just other relationships, friendships, with your family, and you're going through this awakening, you're going through this huge inner shift, and things are changing, and you're like releasing things that were not true, and you're realizing who you really are. When you don't show up as your true self in these relationships because of fear, what does that look like? How does that impact your life? So I'd love to hear from you. How do you feel it's impacted your life? I know for me, I've not spoken my truth. If I let fear hold me back and there's something that I really need to get off my chest, if I really need to say that's true for me, I've let fear hold me back from speaking my truth, which had caused a lot of stuff in my throat chakra, a lot of stuff. I know that there are times when shared a lot. Oh, thanks, Wendy. I know that there are times when in this process of going through my own awakening to who I really am, when I've let fear hold me back, I've felt so lonely. Like I am the only person. I'm on an island somewhere. I don't know if anyone else is, if any of this is resonating with you that I'm sharing, if you hear something that hits a note, I would love to hear your feedback. Like, this is meant to be interactive, because I feel like you're going to get more out of this the more you participate, even if you're watching the replay later. So if anyone has not spoken their truth, and has anyone not spoken their truth because of fear, they've kind of betrayed themselves by not speaking their truth. Has anyone ever felt lonely? Like, you've let fear hold you back from really showing up in a friendship, in a romantic relationship, and then you feel so lonely, like you don't know if you can really be your true self to others or show this part of you to others. If anyone's ever felt lonely, you can let me know that. Has anyone ever distracted themselves by diving into work, maybe over focusing on like a project at home with your kids? Like, has anyone ever distracted themselves when really there's like an elephant in the room? There's yes. Okay, thank you. I'm like, am I the only one? I can't be the only one here. All right. Okay. So like, let me know if this is resident. Okay, Wendy, yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. So not speaking your truth, feeling lonely, distracting yourself, throwing yourself into work. Like, I used to stay up and work until like 10, 11 o'clock at night, just about every single night. Distracting yourself with TV, like, oh, I'm going to go binge watch instead of connecting with my partner. I'm going to go binge watch Netflix. I'm going to go, pop on a movie so we don't have to communicate. And again, all of the things I'm sharing with you are all things, I know these things because I lived them. Yes to feeling lonely and what? Yes. Okay, great. Has anyone ever felt exhausted? Like all of this holding back and all of this distraction, has anyone ever felt exhausted from it all? Like, holy shit, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, because it's exhausting to try to be someone you're not, or you're trying to control a situation. Has anyone ever passed up on opportunities? Maybe that has to do with your business, from you getting out there in a bigger way, or taking a different job. Has anyone ever felt depressed? Okay. Yeah. Has anyone ever felt like almost like this feeling of like hopelessness and helplessness? Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I feel like if I show up as myself, maybe everything will fall apart. I feel like if I stay how I am, I feel like it's all going to fall apart. Yes. Okay. All the time. Yes. Exhausted. Then I get sick. Yes, exactly. Has anyone ever had anxiety from this, where you're like you're all of the stuff, all the energy that's going around in your body around you holding back, and you trying to hold your truth in, and you trying to be a certain way to some people, but a different way to other people? Has anyone ever had anxiety around that? Like, holy shit, I don't even know how to show up, who to be, when to be it. That has been a huge thing of anxiety for me. So now I want to hear about, and we've kind of already touched on this, but like, how does that actually show up in your body? For me, throat. Like, I can even just talking about all of this and like releasing this, it's like my throat chakra is just, I've done so much cleansing and so much releasing my throat chakra, and I know there's more to do. So how else has it shown up? I know sometimes for me, I'll get a headache. Sometimes it will be like knots in my stomach, or just like a sick feeling in my stomach when I'm holding back on myself, when I'm holding myself back from fear about what my partner's going to think or what other people are going to think of me. I know someone else, I think Julie maybe had mentioned about getting sick. Like, all of a sudden something happens and you get sick. So I want to, like, first of all, you can only go for so long distracting. Yes, throat. Okay, good. All right, not good, but that's my main thing. Is my main place I feel it is in my throat. So you can only, here's the thing, is that you can only go so long until it all kind of, like, until you reach a head, okay? So I want to share a little bit more about my journey with this. because again, like I said, this is something that I have lived on a very, very deep level. And I know many of you know that I had a huge spiritual awakening in 2010 that showed up as anxiety and panic attacks. Long story short, I was recovering memories of sexual abuse as a child that I had repressed. So I had this huge, misty headaches, anxiety. Yes, exactly. So I had this huge, it was like someone threw, it was like an egg. Someone threw an egg on the ground and I was like cracked wide open. So that experience for me really awakened me to healing, to looking at who am I? How am I showing up? How, like, am I really all these things? Like, am I really have to be in control all the time? Am I like, it really shined the flashlight on all these things about myself that I really did not like. It did not feel good to show up in that way anymore. So it was almost like I had been living in the dark and then all of a sudden someone flipped the light on and I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Wow. All these things that I believed about myself, that I have to prove myself and I have to do this and I have to do that are actually not even really true. And I can really just show up in this way. Well, let me just say, and I did tell my husband that I was doing this Facebook Live today. Like, we're laying in bed. It was probably 6:15 this morning. And I was like, I just want to let you know that I'm doing a Facebook Live today. And he's like, okay. And I was like, and I'm going to be talking about, our relationship. And he's like, you do what you got to do, Colleen. So we're at a point now where that is not, it's not a trigger for either of us. But anyways, back when it was all happening, when he had known me as this specific person, this person that showed up in this certain way, and we had these patterns and these dynamics, and then all of a sudden I had this huge awakening and I start doing all of this self-discovery and all this inner work. And he was like, William said, I feel like I missed something great. Well, thanks, William. Don't worry, when I'm done, the replay will be up so you can go back and catch anything that you've missed. So when we really came to the place of, he was sitting there watching me go through this huge transformation. And there were many, many times where I was like scared to death because I'm like, I have no idea what this means for my marriage. I have no idea if I stop showing up as like the people pleaser and the one who needs to be in control all the time, if I stop doing all of those things, what does that mean for my marriage? What does that mean for our relationship? Then who am I really? And holy shit, that was really scary. That was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Hi, Padma. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen, but here's the thing that I did know. I did know that I could no longer continue to water myself down for others, including my husband. I could no longer continue to betray myself by not speaking my truth because there are consequences for that. And it kind of reached a head when my husband and I we met in chiropractic school. So we were both chiropractors. We opened a business together from scratch, from nothing. We literally had nothing, created this amazing chiropractic office, this business together. And then a few years into my healing, I awakened and I said, I actually don't want to be a chiropractor anymore. I don't want to be in this business with you like this, like it had been. And that was probably one of our most trying times because we had this dynamic and we had these roles and we had all of these things that were set up together where this is what we were used to doing. And we had just built this, like we had just poured our blood, sweat, and tears and our heart and soul into building this business. And then I'm saying, I'm stepping away. It's no longer in alignment for me to be a chiropractor. And that was like an explosion. Okay. And if my husband was right here, you would totally agree because it challenged everything in our relationship, including what he thought he was capable of. In looking back now, I think he would say Of course, I'm speaking for him, but I think he would say it was one of the best things for him personally that ever happened, because he grew in ways that he could have never imagined. He grew in ways that he would have never grown if I had been not true to myself, if I had just stayed doing what I thought I had to do for our relationship to survive or for our business to survive. So by me being true to myself and being true to who I was and what was in my heart, it was really just a commitment to myself and my growth first and foremost. And that's what that would be like one of the biggest things that if you only take that away from this conversation here, is that it came from a decision that I made within myself that no matter what, I was going to be true to myself. And it's not saying that I said, I just want to end the marriage, or I don't want to try, or anything like that. That's not what it was. It was saying I am committed first and foremost to myself and being who I really am. Because when I am betraying myself, that's the message I'm putting out into the world, that it's basically saying like, you don't matter. And so what happens is that you will then attract to you all the more and more situations that prove you don't matter, because you are not honoring yourself. So it is a very, very slippery slope what happens is that we try to control the situation. We try to control what's going to happen instead of honestly releasing it to God, universe, source. I don't care what word you use. I'm not trying to be religious in any way, but it can be scary to be true to yourself. There are a lot of fears, especially. Yes, Christina, I totally get it. But here's the thing, is that it was more scary for me to not be true to myself than the fear of what would happen. Because I saw what was happening to me personally, internally, because I wasn't being true to myself. The anxiety, depression, health issues, weight gain, all these things that had happened that I created because I was not being true to myself. So that pain and that suffering reached a limit when I could no longer not be true to myself anymore. It was no longer an option for me. And I said, my intention is that I really do intend that we stay together and that we work our marriage out, but I can't be attached to that. I couldn't be attached to that because I had to release it to something higher than me, because honestly, all I could do was be true to me and know that no matter what happens from that, it's all what's meant to happen. And that's what happens, is that when we're not being true to ourselves because we're afraid what will happen in our relationship, we are trying to control something. There are no miracles that will ever happen when you are trying to control something. When you release it, when you just release it to God, release it to your angels, whatever word you want to say here, when you release that and just be true to you and know that no matter what happens, it's all exactly how it's meant to happen, that is when the miracles can come in. And I will say to you that, and this is sorry, I feel so passionate about this because it had been a struggle for so long. Because when you are true to you and you really surrender, miracles can happen. And I can say right now that my husband and I are the most connected, and our relationship is the best it's ever been, by far, ever. And that has come with me being true to me and really detaching and also receiving support in many various different forms. And so this is why, when we're trying to control things, a lot of times there's triggers that happen within us from when we're younger. It could be feeling abandoned. There could be abandonment issues coming up, or I'm not worthy. Maybe you don't feel like you're worthy of having the love or deserving of the love. And again, this is where I go deeper with people, because those inner parts that are coming forward, that are really scared, that are actually in control, are completely impacting all areas of your life. So William said, maybe this is why I feel so overwhelmed. Yes, yes, exactly. It creates the pressure that never leaves. Yes, William, thank you so much for sharing that. You're really onto something. Thank you. Yes, I feel like I am too, because it's impacted me so deeply. And when you can really do the inner work to heal what needs to be healed, and then show up as your true self in this partnership, in this relationship, whatever relationship it is, you are doing a huge service to all involved. Okay, because you're never going to be able to move forward. You're never going to be able to have the intimacy, the love, the connection, the romance, the passion when you're not being true to yourself, because you're stifling yourself. And that energy, that stifling energy, is not in the flow of passion, of love, of romance, of intimacy. So this is actually so I've created a group program, and it's called Awakening to Your Authentic Self. Excuse me. And without even realizing that I was doing this is actually one of the biggest reasons I feel that I've created this program, because when you are out there doing it all on your own and you have no idea you keep sweeping things under the rug and you keep wanting to show up as yourself, but you keep betraying yourself and all these things, and you're out there and you're doing it alone, it can make it really, really difficult to keep distracting yourself, to keep sweeping things under the rug, to keep stifling your voice. But when you have a group of people that are all committed to doing the same thing, that are all really in it because you want to heal, you want to show up as your true self, and you want to honor who you really are, I feel like there's magic that happens in that. So that is one of the reasons why I created this group program. We're going to start in early June. It's going to be amazing. You're going to start with a private Akashic record reading. Oh my God, so true. Yes, William. So starts with a private Akashic record reading. There are group calls. There's going to be a private Facebook group. And the beautiful thing about this group is that this is the first time I'm running a group, even though I've done lots of group workshops and things, that it's at an introductory price. And I'm also going to be creating it, tailoring it to your needs. So whatever I see the group needs, I'm going to create it. Hop on, do Facebook Lives in the group. Whatever is necessary, Padma, thank you. Whatever is necessary, I will create it so that you have the transformation. It's a 3-month-long group. And if there's a part of you that feels called to this group, I would love for you to you can just either comment here that you're interested and I'll reach out to you, or you can private message me. This is a very intimate group. It's only going to be 6 people, and there's already 1 spot filled. So there's 5 spots open. And this is really, this is an invitation only. So if we have a conversation, this doesn't mean I'm going to hard sell you on the group. This is really, I'm looking for the right people. And if this is speaking to you and you would like to have a conversation to see if this is a right fit for you, if you're tired of struggling on your own, you're tired of the depression, the anxiety, the stifling your voice, then I would love to have a conversation with you to see if this is a good fit, to see if I can help you. You're definitely interested. Okay, great. I will be reaching out to you, William. And if anyone else is interested, like I mentioned, we're starting in early June. This is by far the most reasonable way to do deep work with me, and I will never offer it at this price again. So now is the time. If you're feeling called in any way, I highly suggest that you either comment about being interested and I'll reach out to you, or private message me. All right. So I hope that I would love to hear any ahas that you have from our time together here. I would love to hear anything that really stands out for you, any challenges you're having, anything that you feel called to share. And again, if this video is shared 15 or more times, the people that have shared it will be entered into a drawing to win a 15-minute private angel card reading with me. So I'm doing that because I know that there are a lot of people out there that really are in significant pain because they don't know, they're frozen. They don't know what to do within their partnership. They don't know what to do in their relationship, and they're frozen, and they just keep doing the same thing. They just keep stifling their voice. They just keep sweeping it under the rug. They just keep distracting themselves. And if you're tired of being in that pattern and you finally want something to shift, this could be exactly what you need to really help shift things and allow yourself to really be able to show up as who you are. Thanks, Padma, so much. Okay, well, I want to thank you all so much for being here. I am so grateful for all of you who have spent time with me today. I really hope this was helpful for you. And again, if you are interested, comment. You can comment that you're interested, or definitely send me a private message. We start in early June, and the program is Awakening to Your Authentic Self. Have a beautiful rest of the day. I'm sending so much love to all of you. I'll talk to you soon.